Hey people, I thought I'd make a little video sort of as a response to Templars Crusade 01's video about making rivets for models. He had the sweet idea to use some sweets by Dr. Oetker. That's how you pronounce it, by the way, Dr. Oetker. And I thought, well, why not show you the way I do it for my scratch building projects. There's a couple of different ways to do it. As was already mentioned by Templars Crusade, you can buy rivets that are cast in resin, but that tends to be quite expensive, and every time you clip one of the rivets from the sprue, they tend to fly all across the room and you won't ever see them again. So a very pricey opportunity there. Another way to do it is with a tool like this. It's basically a punch, a hole punch. The problem with this tool is that these things always clog up with the parts you want to build your model, because this tool is originally built to make holes and not to make the positive part of the punching process that we want to use as a rivet. To get around this problem, you have to find some way to push the stuff out. This is already so clogged up that I don't think I can demonstrate it, how this works, but basically you take your plastic card. This is very thin plastic card, or you could even use some paper, something like that, and you simply punch a hole. Need a bit of force, like this. Okay, there you can see the hole. And now let's see if we can get this out of here. Okay, there's the part we need. Let's see. Try to push this out. Well, you see what the problem is. We won't get it out there. It works fine for a couple of, well, don't know, 100 rivets. I made a lot of rivets with this. This is one of my very first scratch building projects. Look familiar? Of course, it's a Lehman Russ. I made this at the time when I didn't have access to a real Lehman Russ, and I was working off of pictures. And I think if you take a real Lehman Russ and put it side by side, put them side by side, it's not too bad actually. It's made almost entirely out of cardstock and foam core. And the one thing, apart from all the details, the other details, is that they are not accurate. Well, this is completely inaccurate, but you see giant rivets, and these were all made with this tool. So you can make rivets, but at 1/48 scale or 28mm scale, they're out of scale. Now for my recent scratch building project, you might have seen this one. I had to have much more delicate rivets, although these are still a bit big for 1/48 scale, but they work. I had to think of something different, and what I did, oh come on, was using styrene rods. Now you can get these from different suppliers, Evergreen for example, or Aeronaut in Germany, or Plastruct. I have a bunch of these. Hold on a second. This is the Plastruct version. This is 0.04 1 millimeter. You can go even to 0.3 millimeters. This is really thin stuff, or small stuff. This is the Evergreen scale model version, 0.88 millimeters in this case, and this is Aeronaut. This is 2 millimeters. You can get these in all different sizes, and you can cut them up and use them as rivets. And I'll show you how I do this in a minute. Okay, let's move this little guy out of the way. Okay, what we need for this is a steel ruler, the plastic rod of course, something sharp for cutting, and some masking tape. And what you do first is fix the rod to the ruler. Just like this, right through the edge. Okay. What that gives us a good cutting template of sorts. We can cut this to millimeter sizes, or you can also basically we have a tool to measure the distances of our cuts. It's a bit difficult to make precise cuts, but this helps. The rod won't go anywhere, and a big plus is that the rivets won't go anywhere. They won't go flying around the room. So that spares us of a lot of pain. So now I'm going to cut some rivets. This is just as laborious as a candy process, I guess. Okay, you get the idea. Now you can roll these off, and you have your rivets. Okay, now let's take a piece of spare styrene. Wait a second. Okay. And let's glue them in place. Take another spare bit. I have some plastic cement. Drop it on here, spare part. Now, take the rivet. Get a bit of glue on there and put it in place. Right there. See? Piece of cake. Let's do some more. Okay, this is already looking good, but you might notice, I don't know if this will focus, that the cuts will never be precise enough to get them to be the right height or the same height. So what we'll have to do is wait for this to dry and go over it with some sanding paper, and then we'll have perfect rivets. Now these will be flat rivets. If you want rounded rivets, you should perhaps use the Brita filter method that was mentioned in another response to that video by Templar's Crusade, and there you see what's inside of them. You've seen it in the other video already, but I'm gonna try it. Now I don't really like this method because all the little balls in here are different sizes, so you'll have to sort that stuff into the right sizes, and that is really a lot of work. But I'm going to try this method now. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, now what you do is you take a pin and make a little hole. Where you want to go. Now that you get your guiding hole, you use a drill. This is probably much too big, but my tiny drill broke off, so I have to try it with this one. You make a dent more than a hole. Ooh. Like this. And now you pick the right size. Going for the biggest ones. Maybe you can see it. There it is. And let's make a test fit. Oh, come on. Oh, jikes. This one fell off the table. Let's grab another one. That's the good thing about this method. There's plenty in this filter. Ah, there you go. Oh, the size looks quite good actually. Now, this won't work with plastic cement, because these balls are some kind of, I don't know, ceramic, or I have no clue. So we'll have to use super glue. Same method, only this time, oh come on, oh no, it's dried up. Okay, just hold on a few more seconds. Here we go. Oh, come on. Wow. So much for taking the cheap stuff. Anyway, let's go. Oops! Wow. There we go. Okay, we have to take the ball out. Ooh. Easier said than done. Put some of the super glue in the hole. That's too much. So let's wipe some off. Where's that tissue? Okay. Ah, come on. There we go. Alright. That's looking quite good actually. Nice. Okay. We'll let that dry. Okay, and while we wait for the glue to dry, here's another little tip. If you want even spacing between your rivets, like for example here, this can easily look out of place if it's not done properly, or something like this here. Then you have the option of using something like this. You see, you have little holes in here. There's a huge variety of rulers and stuff like this, drawing for geometric drawings or whatever, architecture. And you can use these little holes as guides. You take your plastic and just mark where the rivets should go with a pin. That way you get a very even spacing between the rivets. There's also tools on the market, rivet makers, which have basically a little wheel with pins, and you can drive that wheel over the surface of your plastic card and it leaves little marks. It's basically the same process. You just roll that little wheel over there. Just Google for rivet maker, or you will find that stuff. I think this is the way to go, because you can have a lot of different spacings with different drawing tools. And another method you can use is take some old sprue, some round sprue, cut a piece off, hold it over a lighter or a candle until it starts to bend, and then pull it apart until you get a small little strip. Hold it in place until it sets and it hardens, and then you have some rod. It's round, it has approximately the even size, and it's basically, well, it doesn't cost anything. Originally that's a way for making antennas, like this one was made that way. Okay, let's get back to our rivets. Let's see. They haven't dried all the way, but we'll have a go at it. Take some very fine grit sanding paper or some nail polish stuff, and then you can make sure that all the rivets are the same height. That should do it, and you have some perfect rivets. This one turned out nice as well, but as you might notice, there's a gap because the hole is a bit too big. You could cure this with a smaller pin vise, I guess. Well, but it's definitely good for stuff like steampunk or First World War stuff or something like that. Yeah, there you have it. Nice. Oh, and I should mention, of course, you can buy some punch and die sets online. These are very expensive. I guess they are very economic in that you can punch out a lot of rivets in a short amount of time. But, well, you have to weigh the cost against that. But you can definitely find some punch and die sets online. Well, that concludes our little look at rivet making, at least my way of doing it. Thanks for watching, and see you later in the next one. Cheers!